Sun is the source of energy for all the processes that occurs on the planet Earth. It provides energy in the form of light. Sunlight is a part of electromagnetic radiation, of which on the either side you have ultraviolet and infrared radiation. These radiations vary from wavelength starting from 100 nanometer to 1 millimeter, which means that near ultraviolet rays are from 100 to 400 nanometer. Beyond 700 nanometer is infrared radiations, and we all know that between 400 to 700 nanometer it is the visible light. While we talk about this, let us also have a look at the atmosphere and its composition. Nitrogen being 78%, oxygen being 21% and argon 0.9%, whereas rest of the gases constitutes to about 0.1%. Though being called trace gases, these gases have major influence on the quality of atmosphere around us. Let us have a look at what type of gases they are. Of these 0.1%, 93.5% approximately is CO2, 4.7% neon, 1.3% helium, 0.44% methane, 0.078% nitrous oxide, and 0.01% ozone. Of these gases, 3 of them contribute to global warming, and they are carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. So when the concentration of these gases goes up in the atmosphere, it is likely to cause global warming. Many a times, people also raise a question whether CO2 is a pollutant. There is no evidence available to that. However, Svante Arrhenius, who discovered CO2, has called CO2 as gas of life because this is the gas which is responsible for life on Earth, especially because it together with water vapors or the water and sunlight is responsible for photosynthesis on the Earth. If we don't have CO2, plant would not be there in existence. There would be no life on Earth, there would be no life in the sea and anywhere on the planet. Most of the human population, including animal life, would vanish. But then, let us also understand how these gases contribute to the global warming. The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, also known as UNFCCC, has identified 6 major greenhouse gases, popularly known as GHGs. Though there are many more gases which can cause global warming, these 6 gases are the major contributors. They are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, hydrofluorocarbons, perfluorocarbons, and sulfur hexafluorides. They have different global warming potential, and because of this global warming potential, they contribute severally but collectively to the global warming. How does it happen? The rays from the cosmos hits the Earth They have high energy intensity because they are mostly in ultraviolet range. They are radiated back from the earth. In the process, they lose energy. When they want to exit the Earth's atmosphere, they are in infrared range. So this range is close to 700 nanometers and beyond, and these gases, of which carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide are prominent. They block the wavelengths beyond the infrared range, which is from 700 nanometers onwards. We can give an analogy of a window. If I have a window in my house, which can be analogous to the spectrum, and a spectrum which ranges from ultraviolet to infrared range, and if I have the window of the infrared blocked by these gases, there will be heat in my room, because the infrared rays would not be able to go back. With this analogy, we will be able to understand what role these gases play. And because of these rays not being able to exit and stay back in the atmosphere, the temperature rises. What could we do? There are many indicators of global warming. What would happen if the heat goes up in the atmosphere? The early signs could be start of melting of glaciers, rising sea levels, salinity in grass, starting of lowering of soil moisture, changes in leaf and bloom dates, rise in sea surface